What?
I'm in front of food every day, all the time. I eat all the time. But my body, I will literally shit, 3 times before I leave the house.
So you regular.
And then a motherfucker.
You keep a lot of iron.
Right,
in
but
your
that's why I
diet.
got that Tonto frame. Look at my hand.
Tonto?
Look, I got
I'm not
reddish
putting that
skin.
in the JMatt dictionary. I don't like
Listen,
that one.
Tonto?
I got that Tonto. Look, I'm slim. I'm always chiseled. I don't work out for nothing.
He's chiseled, slim, and he's Tonto.
I'm chiseled, and I'm red. Look at the red
It's
skin.
more like a skeleton type deal opposed to a
whatever
chisel,
you
man.
call it, nigga. We call it chiseled.
A skeletorian.
We call it chisel.
frame. You got a skeletorian
Like,
deal.
man, look, my skin is reddish brown, and that's that real Cherokee Indian.
I can
root.
dig it.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I never shave. Look at this right here. I get my little whisker. Come up, poke out my chin.
I can
But
relate.
you never see an Indian, talking about facial hair.
But anyway, you could go to the barbershop that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Go
get
sit
you
in
a
her
ramen noodle
chair.
pack.
You get you the full beard. You get the dreads. 30 minutes tops.
What
Now,
she gonna
I
do?
was
She gonna take some ramen noodles, dip it in some black dye, and then go lay it on top of your head.
Pretty much. I seen that. And then they coming out with 360s.
Right.
Get out of
Get
here.
that fuck out of you ain't face. You feel what I'm saying?
This shit's wild,
Hey,
man.
look,
Anything can be done.
What's that song? I'll do anything, but I won't do that. You feel me? When it's
That was
time
a
to
commercial.
go.
Wasn't that a commercial?
No, but it's an actual song.
Yeah. I've seen the commercial too.
Freestyle?
Do you, man? Do you, B?
Chillin' JMatt show. Got to glow. Got to let it go. Wait a minute.
let it go.
It's warming up.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Not here.
All right, listen. They call me Feel More Slim. The man in the vent, the man of the hour, the man of the event, the ring I think, the ring I sent. I bring them back and forth.
You know we're recording, right?
Yeah. Whoa.
You know I'm not editing any of this, right?
Fuck it. There ain't no thing. I'm chilling with my man Wayne. He bald, but it all the same. He got facial hair. Nobody care. My man JMatt, this is his show. He a little arrogant, but we all know. We all parent us with blessings. Me, I'm only teaching lessons. My confession, I'm like Usher. Walking down the aisle like an usher. I explain to you, it's where you sit at my table.
He's really still going.
I didn't know I wouldn't do that. Right, kill the MC.
Really
Somebody
that
boo this man.
as an opportunity
A
to
challenge, yeah, man. I wanted to.
Hey, look, he took it as an opportunity to get discovered
Listen.
on the JMatt show.
Right, I want to get a track. Can I get somebody to sign me to do nothing? To rhyme like that?
Bruh, that was terrible, B.
Ain't nothing more to it. This ain't my profession.
No, it's not. Your day job
I
is
just wanted
works
to fill some
wonders, bro.
spaces.
Man, you don't have to
This
feel
one
the
you just
space.
get out and give a shout out to the rib cage and keep it moving.
Yeah,
Ooh,
man.
let that be the reason. I couldn't hear you. Say it again.
Plug the rib cage.
That'd be the reason.
That was
22,
much
14.
better than what the flow was. We only really do plugs at the end, but if you would decide to plug over the beat and stop the flow, that would have been great.
All right, bad. I'll learn better.
Or next time, actually write something down.
I ain't writing nothing down. I keep it going profound.
Off the dome, you clowns.
Right. Hey, yo.
What else, rounds?
Yo, son. You don't want this. I'll bring the Mac to your mama's crib.
Who was what was Kevin Hart's rap battle name?
Chocolate drop.
Chocolate
MC
dropper.
Chocolate Drop.
Right. Chocolate dropper.
Yeah.
Chocolate dropper.
Chocolate drop. Something like
He
that.
was
whatever.
actually not bad.
Right.
He wasn't bad.
I, mean,
I missed
people
those
right in
videos.
place.
Hey, hey,
Those
shut
I
videos
really
up.
got flow though, man. I really can spit though.
Hey,
man.
no,
I really do flow though.
That shit was terrible. It was just funny.
It was
just
cleverly funny.
Yeah.
Nothing. It was.
exactly.
I like that. Cleverly funny.
But see, I freaking right. I really do got bars. I spit hot fire. Dylan.
You ain't bring them with you.
Dylan spit hot fire.
All right, on that note, welcome to the JMatt Show. This episode 57. We here. We turned up. We got a jam-packed show. We got a lot of shit to talk about, so we're gonna get right to it. Got my man Wayne here, and we got BHill returning guest
Bless
as
her.
well. Look, let's just get started with the sad shit. Get the sad shit out the way.
Get out the way.
We got to the flow, lighten the mood, so we can get to the heavy shit, right?
This song's dedicated.
So everybody knows that Kobe Bryant passed. Very tragic, sudden.
Man.
It was devastating, man. It was like one of those things that you really don't want to believe when you hear the news.
I still don't want to believe it.
You know what really gets me more so than
Seems
anything?
surreal. Can I set up the topic first?
Yep.
You know what really gets me more than anything?
You know what really grinds my gears?
Grinds my gears, you know? No, but we're going to get to everybody's thoughts on Kobe Bryant. Honestly, for me, I'm going to let you get to it right away because I don't feel like I really have too much that I could add to the conversation because I've seen Shaq give his words
Shaq took me out
on Kobe. That was hard. I listened to Vince Carter. He said some profound things about Shaq.
D
Wade. I seen Doc Rivers do his interview before he had to go and play a game. And
Austin
everybody that has had a show before the JMatt show airs has said wonderful, great things about who Kobe Bryant was, his accolades, his achievements. But for me, I really connected with what everybody had to say regarding Kobe Bryant as a father and a family man and a husband.
Respect.
And that's what really took me out, man. It took me out Monday. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'll be completely honest. I had to crack that fresh box of tissue over right there, man. I ain't cried like that in a few months.
I remember that. I remember you told us.
It opened up a whole lot of feelings and emotions I really wasn't expecting to come out, especially from experiencing somebody else's tragedy. And I'm going to be quiet because I don't even want to really make it about anything dealing with me and my emotions.
Well, it's the JMatt
It's
show.
all about, but you know what I'm saying? I want to go ahead and say that I really my heart goes out to his wife and his daughters who are still alive and his other family members that are mourning him. And also, of course, I don't have the names of everyone else that was on the plane. I mean, the helicopter, but sheesh.
Yeah, the other 7
You can't forget about the other lives lost. And
that's
the
what
fact that they were all young,
too.
man, is just crazy.
That's what kind of got me from the beginning when it was like, man, I hope it ain't Kobe. I hope it ain't Kobe who died in that plane. In the helicopter. I hope it ain't Kobe. But I'm thinking in my head, even if it's not, okay, that's cool. But still somebody and some people have died in that plane crash. That helicopter crash. Mm-hmm. So take Kobe out the factor, it should still seem as important.
Always.
You know what I'm saying? But
Always.
he just that phenomenon. And the whole thing that also got me too is like, for him to be such a great guy, his legacy, how he lived his life, went through triumphs and stuff like that, overcame that. And for you to die so tragically, like you were one of the humanitarians as far as on your platform, and you used it to do better.
Living legend.
And how you live so good and die in such a tragic form with your daughter. Now that touched me.
Yeah, man.
I don't have kids and stuff like that. I'm not a married man. I'm family oriented, but I don't have a family setting. But I understood like the deeper part of it, like why though? I'm not questioning no God or nothing like that. But it's like, how do you live that good and die so bad when you got bad people that probably just die in their sleep?
That's a rhetorical question, right?
Right. That's just something that I thought about. It's not really a question.
Because I'm gonna come back to that.
Thought.
I'm gonna come back to that. But Wayne, what's your thoughts on this, man?
My thoughts on it, man, same as what BHill stated, as far as like hearts going out to the family. Like to everybody's family involved in this situation. And for me, it was a moment of reflection. You want to empathize, but you can't. Like as I can't.
Right.
And you try to take that moment. I took a moment to say, if I just got news that my wife, one of my kids, this just happened, like the thought of that drives me nuts, man. And like it's so this is so bigger than basketball, and not to be cliche when I say that, but man, like we talk about Kobe and his daughter, but it was another. What was it? One of her teammates,
one of the coaches, another coach,
another parent, and everything like that. It's like for all these families involved, and it's just like, man, I cannot imagine what those families are going through, and then to see the content on social media, they showing videos or whatever. I don't know if this video was like really truly it.
Plane crash.
But the plane,
the
helicopter crash.
Yeah.
Because I saw a couple. I saw a couple.
That was that white plane, that white helicopter.
Yeah.
That
But
was
either way it
2
go,
years ago for the that was fake news.
But whether they got the content or not, it's still just a thought of like, and Kobe being in that public eye like that, like it's almost like the family can't get away from it,
right?
Because there's so many people actually grieving your family.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, oh my God, man, I don't even know what to say about it, man. But man, that's rough.
It's got to be a lot. It's got to be a lot for that family to take in right now.
It is, man.
Vanessa and the kids and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like you got everybody out crying to you, trying to, and you really ain't got time to yourself to settle into the fact that my husband and my daughter is gone.
Yeah.
You got the media, they at your house. You got everybody important trying to call you so they can say they said something to you. Notoriety, everybody clout chasing, people trying to make money off of the death, people doing so much.
And it's so crazy because like what you just said right there, like Kobe's death, of course, don't get me wrong, his shouldn't be any more important than the other, him and his daughter shouldn't be any more important than the other 7 people on that plane. Correct. But what his family is getting ready to have to deal with outside of just the mourning of Kobe and his daughter, man, they are famous.
Mm-hmm.
They're like Vanessa is going through it
big time,
because she's catching it from a whole lot of other different ways that those other families are not. But at the same time, they're going through it just as much on the emotional side.
When it comes to, honestly, I could say it I think when it comes to grief or dealing with tragedy, I don't think there's really any levels to it as far as being worse. Or, you know what I'm saying? Because I can't really, I'm not famous or anything, but I don't think that that's at the forefront of Vanessa's worries or, dealing with the media or anything on her timeline or anybody wanting to ask questions or take pictures. It's the fact that you just engulfed in the loss and in the tragedy of it. Mm-hmm.
But it seemed like it just doesn't end though. Like, it's just like,
well, no, it don't end.
But hold
no. What I'm saying is that when it comes to that media and everything, like sometimes you do like how do you take a break from it?
But I'm sure she's focusing on right now. Her main focus right now is probably got nothing to do with what we thinking. She probably thinking about how can I protect the rest of these kids.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. It's not even. She ain't worried about people taking pictures and no interviews. She has to focus. I heard that she had to take when she let her youngest daughter know. She had an asthma attack. She had to take her to the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So it's real life that you have to deal with. And I just remember, I'm very empathetic and sympathetic towards people, and for me to go through something like that's kind of similar and tragic, just for people, two people to just be gone like that, and at the same time, one day, like,
oh my God. Man.
It was a Sunday morning. Shit happened with my parents on a Sunday morning. I just remember, and I don't know, it's just weird because that next day, that Monday, I just remember how I was thinking about how she must be feeling, dealing with trying to cope and grasp with what happened the day before. Yeah, and I just, all those emotions came back up in me. Like, I remember the next day when all that stuff, when you try to have it settle in and you like, what the fuck? Am I dreaming? And you got to deal with the fact that it's like, damn, it's not really a dream. It's my reality. And it's like, damn, how is this my reality? How is this? It's just too much other shit to think about.
It is. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think but again, like I said, I ain't been famous. I don't know what that life is like.
But you know what? You make a good point because, like even with what you experienced, because, I was somewhat a part of it in a way of like with news being delivered. And
I talked to you.
Right. And I remember like being there in Miami when you called to be able to give your brother the news, and we was sitting there with him. And I'm just like, my God, I can't imagine. I can't empathize with a situation like that. It's impossible.
I remember that.
Oh
my
God,
when that happened,
man.
I said, Reg is in Miami right now.
Yeah.
And I thought in my head, I said, Matt will have to call this man. Somebody got to call him and tell him like he's having a celebration.
That's probably one of the worst phone calls I ever made in my life.
Yeah.
Man, it was one of the worst phone calls I had to wait to receive.
Yeah, that shit was pretty bad.
And that's that man's day-to-day commute. Always happen like that. They did get warned to ground the plane, but I heard they took off beforehand. Ground the helicopter. They took off beforehand. He was trying to turn around.
And that's a lot of stories that I've been hearing about.
Right.
That's a lot of
Like
rumors.
he was too low already, so he's trying to turn around through the fog. We got the fog when they go back and ground the goddamn helicopter. They said, and I guess when it ain't just like what I'm saying, like you got it. And maybe
none of us are, none of us are pilots or anything like
Right.
that.
Just
So we don't know the
but
logistics
you've been in a
behind
plane
it.
and you know how that air gap can hit and make you get that turbulence. It's like, I'm assuming it's the same for helicopters when you trying to like make a turn right now. Fog's coming in heavy. You like, I'm gonna turn it around, and all of a sudden, an unbeknownst wind kind of probably caught that.
Well, you know what? I don't want to make no speculation behind
yeah.
how that happened, man, because
but
ultimately, at the end of the day,
we don't fly shit.
right,
We
like,
ain't
I
never
don't-
flew a goddamn
man, rest
thing.
in peace to Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and those other 7 passengers. I'm sorry that I don't know the names, but man,
that's where that came out.
man,
that, he was trying to turn around.
That's crazy.
I mean, a lot of things come out. We don't really know anything. We got to let the investigation unfold. But
Question for the
definitely
gentleman:
tragedy.
if he was still an active player, would it hurt you more if he was still playing ball, or would it still be the same to you right now?
For me, again, because of what I just recently experienced, it wouldn't matter anyway.
Okay.
I was connecting on a whole different level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people be like, man, I'm not really ever connected to celebrity deaths, or when we're so disconnected from them lives, we kind of treat those people as just our entertainment. It's like we're not really connected. Or if you see people, I always thought it was weird when Michael Jackson was in his heyday, and you used to see just people hysterically crying, passing out, fainting, and it's like, I don't understand what that's like.
Yeah.
I don't understand the hysteria around or that level of fandom where I can faint at the sight of a person.
Seeing somebody.
You know what I'm saying? But you see when all those people, when Pac died,
Yeah.
it was like, wow. It was just people connect with people in different ways. They find different things about a person's personality where he's like, oh, they remind me of this, or someone's drive or work ethic. You aspire to be like this person in some way, a mentor.
You don't, like when it comes to a Pac, you don't know what his music might have did to impact you during like what you might have.
Probably saved your life.
Sometimes when you think about music, you can listen to an album that'll take you back to a certain point in time of your life. And be like, man, what was I going through then?
Right.
This album got me through that. You know what I mean? Like you never know. Like, and then, like even as a basketball player like Kobe Bryant, people got to understand that man was he was influential on a lot of people. Like, think about people that are in the NBA right now that Kobe was their idol. I wouldn't be here in the NBA if it wasn't for the Kobes, if it wasn't for the LeBrons, the Michael Jordans and everything. So we have to think about that. Like, we so quick to say you didn't even know him and everything, man. Like, cut the ignorance, man. Like, some people just on social media just doing too much for shock value. Shut up.
The comedian, so-called comedian.
Oh, Ari.
Yeah.
I heard about it, but I didn't catch what he said.
Terrible what he said. That man should be ashamed of himself.
Hey, man, but again,
I don't even want to give him no plug.
When people come out and they tell you who they are,
trust them.
Trust who they are.
Right.
And again, from what I understand, this isn't something new. He's always kind of been this type of way. But people like to take advantage of other people's tragedies to make a spotlight. I think he got a comedy special coming out, so it's great promotion for him.
Yeah, no, he just got his stuff shut down. It's a wrap.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see, man. I don't know.
I mean, it's gonna have some supporters, the ones who feel just like him.
But I want to go back to what you said,
all
though,
around
B,
him,
about the way that he died, like how tragic it was.
Yeah.
Because we usually don't see, and I think that's really the impact of what other people around the world is feeling, is his celebrity got so high, he started to do things outside of what we knew him as a basketball player. He's getting into film. He's winning awards and Oscars. And the second act of his life was really just beginning. Man. And I thought about that, and I'm like, man, he was just getting into everything that he himself said was making him happy. Everybody said that was close to him. He was at his happiest because he's just being a dad. He's doing all the things that he wanted to do after basketball. And he was literally living like damn near the perfect life, man.
They said his second act was about to be better than his first.
Exactly.
Right,
the filmmaking, the coaching, the AAU.
All right, listen.
It's amazing.
Now, this is where I'm here for. Conspiracy. Listen now.
What you got?
Listen.
No, I didn't finish my thought about how he died. Because it made me think about Daoud. RP to the Prophet, original co-host of the JMatt show. Daoud got shot up more than anybody could ever imagine.
Yep.
15, 17 times, I do believe. Survived and then passed away in his sleep as peacefully as you could go. So life, when you was talking about, I know you wasn't really asking a question, but it kind of did. Yeah. You can't try to figure out why any of this shit happens, man.
Your number gets
it's fucking mystery, bro. Shit. But go ahead, finish your point.
No.
Your conspiracy theory.
Right. So okay. When you start going about this media thing, now it's only when I get into it. I'm not saying this will happen. This is my personal thought. Every black person who wanted to control media, own media, or try to buy media, HUDs, is an issue with them all of a sudden. Bill Cosby wanted to buy CBS. Joker in the joint. BET guy forced him to sell that for $4.2 billion. Forced him to say he could have kept it. Forced him, and they took majority control. Kobe Bryant was getting into that thought of trying to get a comms. He's trying to own communications,
like a cell phone company, or no, technology
television. Okay, he wanted that whole broad stream television. And any black person, I believe, that try to take over a station that's going to get to the rest of the blacks, you're out of here. If you're not going to sell and buy out, you're done.
What would you say about Oprah?
Oprah, you got this right here. Like I said, what's
Oprah's
the old saying?
Asshole.
No. What's the old saying? Get down or lay down. Oprah's getting down.
I hear you.
Oprah ain't putting other blacks up on.
Now,
she is.
What you just said
for Africa. I give it that. But what did her school do in Africa? They were still kicking ass in there, slaving their ass.
What did you say before he mentioned Oprah? Damn, what was you talking about?
I was saying the
conspiracy. Conspiracies. And you was talking about when before
Bill Cosby.
Okay,
all these people wanted to own.
My conspiracy shit at
were they trying to take these companies over?
I don't know if people heard this story about Oprah before. But when Oprah had her get down or lay down moment was when she still had the Oprah Winfrey Show. And she was doing real stories back there. Remember, she used to have it was almost like Shock Jock TV back there. You used to have the racists against the black people. Remember Phil Donahue? And
I
remember all that shit? You had people in the audience like, fuck you, niggers. You know what I'm saying? They had KK rallies on the stage and shit.
White and black supremacists and shit.
All type of wild shit.
That was the Donahue show where he got his nose broke. That was
it was wild TV back then.
Yeah, it was.
Early 90s, late 80s, right? But anyway, Oprah did a show and she was on some health conscious shit. And she was going after the dairy farmers. And I think it was dairy farmers, or it was, I'll just say the farming industry. And she was talking about how, I don't want to say how bad it was, the industry was. I don't know the exact specifics of what she said, but that industry, they control a whole lot of lobbyists in Capitol Hill. They get a whole lot of shit passed because of the power that they have and the products that they sell drives a whole lot of industry and business in this country.
A lot of revenue.
They motherfuckers sat Oprah ass down and they said, not us. You ain't finna talk about none of this shit we got going on. And that was the last time Oprah said a negative word about any wealthy white industry people.
Yep.
She ain't said shit about nobody else since. That's white.
She getting down because she getting down. She ain't laying. I mean, no. She laying down.
She had her get down and lay down moment.
The whole thing
and she
is,
motherfucking got down.
Listen, I don't get it. She's never back to how Oprah. She give her fans a lot of stuff, but her fans are majority white people. You know what I'm saying? Tax write off. Who gives a fuck? Oprah gives you get a car, you get whatever the fuck. You know, she got like that. But see, Oprah, who is Stedman anyway?
Her.
Right, who gives a fuck, right?
Dude,
Right. So, you guess. But what foundations that we know of, I could be ignorant to it, but
you sound
I don't
like
hear
you might
about
be ignorant to
I don't hear about a Oprah Foundation that gives back to the black communities or anything like that. I know she had her school in Africa that she's trying to help out, but all them girls are becoming slaves and that shit not getting shut down, right?
Because all of them is slaves.
They was beating them and they was getting sold.
All right, man.
You got what I got. So what I got. I'm glad he said fact check because I'm quiet over here in this regard. I want to sit up there and say that I believe that Oprah does give back and everything like that, but I don't want to speak ignorantly to not be able to support my statement. So therefore, I'm gonna just go ahead and digress on this particular topic because I don't necessarily know exactly what Oprah does do, but I will not go as far to say that she doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
I would never say
I
she
can't
don't
see
do
myself.
nothing. I would say she do a lot
not.
for an overall dollar. I would say that she does a lot of things. You know what I mean? Because she got a lot.
That's
of
what I'm saying.
bucks.
When billionaires do a lot of things, what I'm saying. Wait a second. When billionaires do a lot of things and they have money going in different ways, you don't know how that shit disseminates and trickles down.
Wait, no, hold on.
We don't know their personal affairs.
I want to ask this question.
Right?
Just
the media reports.
Let me ask this question real quick. Why is it that, and I'm not saying y'all, but have y'all noticed that when a lot of times when people give to organizations and everything like that, the negative thing that's connected to it is, well, they just doing that for a tax write-off. Well, let me ask this question: why is that a bad thing?
It's not bad.
Because in my opinion, I and this is for anybody out there that want to ignorantly say, hey, you know, this millionaire or whoever this is only did this as a tax write-off. So what's the alternative? Instead of me giving my money somewhere where it's needed, I would rather pay it to the government in taxes instead, or I would rather say, hey, instead of me giving my money to the government for taxes, I would rather give it to this organization that actually needs it, that goes towards a good cause, and then be able to write it off on the back end in order to not have to pay the money to the government. Y'all have a problem with that as if that's an actual bad thing. Man, use your brain.
Well, right. Wait, ask you a question. Who's paying the back end?
No, fuck that question. Not fuck your question, but really, fuck your question, but not really.
I just had to put that out there.
The more important thing is that what Wayne is speaking to is actually just ignorant people make that.
Yeah,
comment.
that's all.
People that don't understand business. And I'm not even going to act like I understand a lot of business, but I definitely don't understand billionaire business. Right. But I will equate that to just like how the government has a lot of the amount of money that they have to get rid of or give away in grants every year. It's the same thing with like, it's not exactly the same, but it's like if you at a certain tax bracket,
it's not wrong with a tax
over a certain amount of money,
but
you need to make sure you spend more.
But see, they make sure that you do give back to, like, I'm sure once you get to a certain echelon, you got to pay into, because like you're not going to sustain this amount of money without paying into this guy's organization, that guy, throw money here and there and there and there and there. So it's that kind of like a networking thing where we all go make this money together, but we go give you like our rich people tax to see if you can still support organizations and stuff like that. They make you get a foundation and stuff like that going on. And see, are you worthy to be in the echelon of being the wealthy? It's not just like getting this money and you be like, hey, fuck you, and this is all mine, none of that.
I mean, you got to be taxed regardless, man.
So it's like you got to be not one selfish individual. As far as like when it's like money, when you don't oblige to the powers that thou, you find yourself dead all of a sudden.
What you saying, I agree with, but I would like Justin mentioned that the comment that I made was more geared toward the ignorant people that just try to find a negative in something that's made to be positive. Like, yeah, granted, like the fact of the matter is that they do have a choice. I can pay taxes or I can give to an organization, but them choosing to give to an organization or do something positive, y'all finding something negative about that? Are you kidding me? Like, right. Okay, would you prefer that they pay taxes and not give back?
The people who say stuff like that,
taxes. That's the real problem.
They filing tax peoples on people that's deceased and in prison, and them motherfuckers is doing a whole.
Or they claiming somebody else's kids.
Yeah, they claiming a lot of other kids. So, yeah, that's a whole different group of people.
But the whole thing is with that, it's like, since it got to the taxes part, my whole thing was like, when I start talking about like when she gives away to the people in her crowd, like that, her giving them cards and stuff like that, like, oh, that. Now that's like a tax write-off. That's not a donation to organization. That's just like, boom, I'm gonna spend the money for the cards. I'm gonna pay the initials, something like that. Boom, I can write that off my taxes. That's why it looks like she's giving a lot. I'm not saying her like, boom, there's a kid foundation somewhere and she like, boom, I gave 100,000, and because I donated, because like if I donate close to the
but what's wrong with that?
Nothing. That's what I'm telling you. Like, if I donate close to Goodwill or something like that, I can write that off on my taxes.
Right.
So there's nothing wrong with it. It's like it's a tax credit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying like, boom, that's a give back. What you're getting back. A true donation is just like boom. Like they say, the greatest gift of giving is anonymous. You know what I mean? So
Hey,
it's
you
like,
know what? Hold on, stop right there. Now, I'm glad you said that because here's another issue that it is that I have with people, not you necessarily, but with people.
Wayne always got a problem with me.
If we sit
Ever
up
since
there,
that Kappa shit.
Yeah, and then we're gonna go to the next topic.
no. If we give and do something and you find out about it, it's like, well, why you have to tell somebody about it? Why not just do it and nobody know about it? But then if we give and don't say nothing about it, then next thing you know, people like, well, what are you doing? Or are you giving back? Are you like it's like make up your mind. And I'm not again, this is not towards you, but it's just like the mentality of people is like
But
you
who's
want to always
controlling
be
that
up in
thought?
somebody's business, and then when you know somebody's business, you want to talk shit
But
about their
who's controlling
business.
that thought? Who's throwing your business out there to begin with? See, like, you will never know how many times I gave Obama 20 or 50 or 10 or 5. I don't put it on social media or like nobody can report
But
about
you also
it
just
to give
asked
back. And at
about
the same time-
Oprah, what
Wait,
she doing for black people.
No. My whole point to that was like her getting down or laying down. It's like everyone else folded or they just did. Like Oprah, you asked me like why Oprah still has her thing going on right there. Now, do she still have her network, the O network that's still going on? Take this out. Wait. But do you watch it? No one. The forces that be don't care because your ratings ain't up for you to reach so many black people.
That don't mean that her ratings ain't up. I just don't watch
I'm saying the first time her ratings reaches a lot of blacks or like a black influence, that's what I said. The forces that be either you go get pay them, or you go do their narrative, or you're dead.
I don't know where we're going with this conversation.
Yeah.
No, the
I
whole
don't
thing
know
is, but the telecoms, but Kobe. I said a conspiracy.
You got to goddamn wrap your shit up. Bring your damn point to.
No, that was the whole point. Y'all got to doing the tax write-off shit. You know what I'm saying? But my whole point was like I thought it was conspiracy because now Kobe want to start buying up. He want to start buying television companies and want to start getting his own like that. And it's happened. So
you think it's a conspiracy?
I just said on this part of the show here. Think about it on the other end compared to everyone else that's black-owned who tried to own something from television companies. Or want to get into that, they either dead, jail, or
It's
you lay down.
it's still early. for
Byron
me to be able
Allen
to
is
touch
still
on
alive.
that.
Like I
But
said, I just want
anyway,
to bring
it's
us up.
still
That's
early.
what
But
we
anyway,
Still early.
did y'all watch the Grammys?
No, watching Kobe.
No.
Kobe.
I watched the Royal Rumble.
I wasn't into the fucking Grammys
Royal
either.
Rumble.
I
You
was
still
watching
watch
the Royal
wrestling?
Rumble. Yes, I
I
watch
love
wrestling.
that in you, man. You're a Toys
I
R
was
Us
watching
kid.
WWE.
You watch wrestling too?
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
No, I stopped when Steve Austin, him and The Rock. That was it.
Okay. All right. So no Grammys. Damn, we don't have shit to say about the Grammys. I hope it was good, but I just
They
wasn't
say
in
it was
the
the
mood.
least ratings ever they ever
Yeah,
got.
it was
the
yeah,
lowest
it was bad
ever.
timing. I think they should have probably canceled them
Postponed
NBA
it,
games
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, everything should have been postponed for that moment. Every game, 'cause even watching the game, watching players play, it was like you wasn't really caring. You wasn't even watching that shit. You wanted to see what the news was saying about.
Yeah,
Kobe.
they can't postpone the Laker Clipper game last night, but they supposed to be playing tonight instead. I think.
Yeah, I think
No,
they.
I
don't
thought they
think
completely
announced the
moved it.
time
I
yet.
thought they completely moved it to another scheduled date.
Oh, I thought they
'Cause they going right
moved
to-
it to today, but
No,
I
they
could be
go-
wrong.
I think they went to another different. They just went to another city and played them.
All right. Well, did y'all have any final thoughts on Kobe?
I do. I just wish that the people take this example, real example. Like, man, it's now or never. If you ain't got it by now, you might not be getting it. If you still want it, try to go get it. Because life ain't promised to you just like that. On your normal routine of life,
shit's fragile,
it can
man.
end.
Shit's
Just like
fragile.
that, man.
Yep.
So just live happily. Don't stress yourself. Don't just live and do freaking you, man.
I will also try to prolong life by don't go on cruise ships, man. Every time I wake up in the morning, I read my news reports, man. It's somebody's always dying on a cruise ship, falling,
It's
committing
fucked up 'cause I dream
suicide,
about water and cruise ships. death
diarrhea,
alive.
food poisoning.
I've been on a few cruises.
The
though. I ain't have that
coronavirus
experience.
then got outbreak on a couple of cruise ships.
What is this
They
coronavirus?
crashed.
Coronavirus. I thought somebody got sick from drinking Coronas.
No, I just want to let that sink
All
in
right,
for
cool,
a second.
okay.
We're just gonna let that one. No, I just want to.
They
just wanna let
making
that one
shit up,
sink
man.
in.
Point of it, they making shit up. The coronavirus. Like, when last time you heard of a coronavirus?
Is it new? First off, I don't know.
I mean, Corona.
Look, it's new to me.
Okay.
You been drinking Coronas? What's a coronavirus? They making shit up to try to scare you. Whatever market they trying to push you to another market, man. I don't believe in government.
Here's my thing
shit,
with this
man.
with this coronavirus.
They push us some other market.
What exactly is it?
Maybe we should Google it.
Right. Be Google. Because that shit.
Yeah. Instead of bad jokes, man. Google.
These ain't bad. This is conspiracy. Yeah, man, I'm on a whole conspiracy thing right now, man.
I don't even drink Coronas.
Right.
No, I think it came from Japan. Is it Japan or China?
Japan.
Is it which country do they wear the mask in? Is it both?
That's right. I was well. You know what? I don't even want to say it's from Japan. I just recently seen some people that I know visiting in Japan, and they were over there wearing masks and everything like that. So that's the reason. That's where my assumption comes from. But man, here, let me see what this.
Oh yeah, I
is.
seen Felix.
Yeah.
You got cough. You
Him
got
and,
fever.
What's it? Ari, or what's her name? Ariana.
Yeah. I ain't want to mess up nobody's name, so I just said Felix.
Okay.
So coronavirus is typically a virus that affects the respiratory tract of mammals, including humans.
We
They're
mammals
associated
too.
with a common cold, pneumonia, and severe acute respiratory syndrome. It can affect the gut. So
Does it kill you though?
See, I'm looking at something else. It say and I'm looking at one that say it's an infection in your nose and your sinuses and upper throat. Most
your respiratory.
It's not dangerous, but
your respiratory system.
some people have died from it.
It's like pneumonia.
It's not dangerous, but people have died from it.
Like
Some types of coronaviruses are serious though. About 858 people have died from Middle East respiratory syndrome.
It's associated with the common cold, pneumonia, and severe acute respiratory syndrome. So it's got to be just like an inflammation, like.
Well, whatever it is, y'all be safe out there. If y'all need to go get y'all some masks and put them on like the Chinamen, go ahead and do what you got to do.
The Asians.
Like the Asians. Chinaman is a derogatory term. Like if they call me a nigger, right? I do apologize to all the Chinese individuals out there that speak Mandarin. My bad. Everybody that's from the island, our black and brown brothers over there from another. My bad.
It says what kills coronavirus? Most household disinfectants.
Yeah, somebody was like, Comet.
It says readily kill
Lysol.
coronavirus immediately. Room temperature kills coronavirus within 48 hours. So pretty much stay
Are
warm.
You reading what are you
I'm reading this from Google. Like pretty much just saying like stay warm.
Googling the wrong shit, man.
No,
Look, what was the name? Googler? He's a bad Googler. We talked about this.
People been asking.
So you're reading questions that people are asking.
The common questions.
He done went to the Q&A
Oh
section.
my God.
He went to the Q&A
Google.
section.
This ain't even WebMD.
It is right here. Look.
That's WebMD?
This is right. People ask.
Is it WebMD?
I don't know what that
Exactly.
is.
He's looking at Wikipedia questions for coronavirus.
Ain't no more Wikipedia.
Looking at the reviews.
Is it still a
The
Wikipedia?
reviews for coronavirus. Hey, what is this rating, man? Is it 5 stars or
man.
nah? If it ain't 5 stars, I ain't worried about the coronavirus.
It
All right.
only lasts for hours or a couple of days.
So moving on. So Joe Rogan and Stephen A. Smith is going to have to do a pay-per-view event. I don't know who's going to pay for it, but Joe Rogan will beat the shit out of Stephen A. Smith.
Oh my God!
You see him training?
Why did he release that
Especially-
video?
That man getting it in, shit, them uppercuts.
That was not an uppercut. That was a lower cut. Straight to somebody's
That was
kneecap.
a paper cut.
That was terrible, bruh. That was the worst
You ain't
thing
see that
ever.
man jab, man.
That was not a jab.
That man stepped him right into it with
So
shoulders.
he threw I think it was supposed to be a hook, and then he threw a real low,
like a downward, like
a jab
like a
hook.
kneecap
He
punch.
fight like
straight
a real old
down.
man. He
But
really
who
do.
was the trainer, niggas? I think we need to blast him.
I don't even.
He's
know.
the one
No,
that's
I don't,
giving
I don't,
him
I don't
the
even, I
target.
don't even want nobody. I'm not even gonna say his name. I'm giving him no pub.
That must have been Stephen A.'s nephew. That was his nephew.
Man, that was his
That was probably his nephew. It was probably his neighbor. Like, hey man, come hold these mitts, man.
No,
I got to make a video and show these niggas I'm
just
real.
hold the mitts. I'm gonna show.
No,
Yeah,
his
right.
ass was a
I'ma
leech.
show- I'ma
These
show him
niggas
what it
think
is.
I'm a joke out
Where
here.
you want me to
Call him
hold
a
him at?
leech.
Right here.
Yeah, just hold him. Just hold him.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, just where I got long arms. You ain't got to hold them too high.
He's somebody who had a prime time suck on his hands. You can charge him this much as a person at your house, obviously, to upcharge you, to let you go throw some shit on camera. Here, that's $100 a punch. You know what I'm saying? That man left with $1,500 to sit there to let this man.
Man, Stephen A. had to go look back at that video and be like, man, this looks shitty,
Hell, he
man.
probably
I can't
feel
post
good.
this.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's
He
what I
probably
think
felt
he
good.
was proud enough to post that video, man.
It's like, yeah.
After Joe Rogan and I don't know if it was after, but
This is
the
asinine.
fact that Joe Rogan and Conor McGregor, the guy who won the fight,
It was asinine.
comes out and says, man, you need to apologize. You ain't coming correct. You need to apologize for what you saying. You being disrespectful to the sport. I don't believe that. Honestly,
Hey, can I hit you with a breaking news real quick?
go ahead.
I know we didn't got off the subject or whatever, but Vanessa Bryant just released a statement on Kobe and her daughter. But moving on.
Hey, did you find it? Find
Actually,
it, and we'll read it at the end of the podcast. We'll end with that.
That'll work.
We'll end with that. But I think that Stephen A. needs to really pump his brakes. I don't think that he is showing the proper respect to the sport of MMA. Like, I understand he's a boxing fan, but when it comes to MMA, bro, you need to like chill on the shock factor comments, man. Like, the commentary that you giving out there, man, with these dudes that'll really, really bust your ass on sight. Like, you're in the arena with these guys. They see you.
Right.
And they coming to this dude's defense like, hold on, man, that's not how we roll. What you gonna say when they press you?
I'm just saying, respect the fact that he probably 60 and he still try to got a jab on him. You know what I'm talking about? If he hits you in the belly when you ain't ready for it, he might get you. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just saying, if Stephen A. hit you in the belly one time if you wasn't ready.
And just off subject, because I don't have
He
too
might
much
be
more
all
else to
right,
say
man.
about Joe Rogan and Stephen A. Smith.
Hey,
But they
Stephen
not
A.
really gonna
Smith
fight though,
is
right?
A jerk.
They not
And-
really gonna fight though, right?
No,
That was a
hell
joke,
no.
Right?
What you think gonna
I'm
happen?
just saying,
What
you know
you
they
think
put
gonna
them little
happen?
pay-per-view events together when they like shit like that.
No,
little
they
small
don't.
events.
Man,
They don't.
Charles
you will
Barkley
see a
ain't
Conor,
goddamn
you will
shit
see a
like that.
Conor McGregor and Floyd too before you see some bullshit like that.
That'll be no. Stephen A. Smith wouldn't even sign that waiver, bro. He's
No.
not doing that.
Stephen A. Smith ain't
Now
gonna go
Joe
do that.
Rogan is he a MMA
Yeah, he used
fighter?
to. He used to
be
fight.
like that? Okay, I'm
Yeah,
saying
he
you
used to
wish you
fight.
did a little shit like that.
He gonna whoop Stephen A. Smith's
Fear
ass.
factor.
That's for sure.
Yeah, he used to fight.
Yeah, he gonna beat the hell out of him.
All right. I don't really want to talk about Orlando Brown saying that Nick Cannon gave him head
Oh my
because that nigga's crazy. Orlando Brown is nuts.
First of all,
They need to give him the same help they about to get for Delonte West.
Right,
And-
actually, right,
and
'cause
Antonio
I agree,
Brown.
I agree 100% with Nick Cannon. It's like at first I thought this was funny and humorous. When I thought about it a little more, like this is a cry for help. It's enough of our young stars that got fame early, and they just don't know what to do with their career. Now you just left them out in the cold.
Have you seen?
And now they
Have
acting
you,
out
have you
and
heard of
showing
him
nuts.
before?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I wonder, yeah.
So you know
Yeah.
that he said shit for
He
years.
did a lot of weird shit. And
No, he
like I
does
said,
a lot
Nick
of weird
Cannon
shit.
called it out. It was like this man like really needs psychological help, and we're looking at it like it's funny, but he's really he's making a cry out like, hey guys, I need help. My career is like shit. Only thing I can do is keep acting out in this type of way, and if too much goes on like that, don't pay attention, he might off himself.
He might.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the pressure he's going through. He
man.
needs a real we need to help that man and
Who
quit
is we?
laughing with him. I'm talking about the public. Quit laughing with him and like, yo, bro, take a chill.
So whose responsibility do you believe it is to help people that's out here like that?
Themselves and whoever their closest circle is. Media, we are who we are. The public, who are we are. We have no empathy, no sympathy unless it's right at home. That's
You
what
do
everything-
realize you saying like you double talking.
No.
You just said
Yo, you talking about
we
in
need
second
to.
person-
You said
second
we need to help them. And I asked
Themselves.
you,
But they said themselves.
No. This is
ahead,
how
B.
we
Go
gonna help
ahead.
them.
Go ahead.
But stop liking that shit. Quit commenting. Quit trying to think it's cool and funny. That's how we can help him as consumers of what the fuck he's doing. So it's like, let's stop entertaining that shit.
I remember what needs to happen is that we have to just be in tune with reality, man. Like, it don't make a difference what happened in this world. You're going to have a bunch of people that's going to be assholes toward the situation. That's going to be,
And
very,
don't
very,
entertain these
very
assholes.
insensitive and everything. It ain't that.
Why we entertaining
it ain't
these
It ain't that
clowns?
we're entertaining the assholes. It's the assholes that's entertaining the assholes.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
He didn't watch D Hawks. D Hawk was just here, and I asked him how he explained how hard it is to not pay attention to the people that's giving you hate on a daily basis on your timeline. He said that shit is a lot louder than the motherfuckers who is just supporting you and coming to your shows and giving you all the love and admiration that you feel like you deserve. He just sat right there and explained it's hard not
Listen,
to pay attention.
we gotta
to
be
the
better.
I'll
assholes.
tell you
It is
right
hard.
here. I just got a text message the other day. This was the other day. of a customer in my restaurant, and that shit shamed us and said, only thing was the wings was good. I guess we was too fancy for this place or something like that, the cooks.
Said
like
what?
that. Pretty much, I'm going to show you right here. This is a customer review, and I watch my reviews a lot. And I'm going to let you know how easier it is than you think. Because
I think that's different than your timeline.
No, listen, no. This is my livelihood.
But that's
No. I can agree with him on this.
Listen, you can read that yourself.
No, you read it. I want to know what it says.
We
on air right now.
The food was not great or appealing, but the company was. Our cook was only good for wings tonight. We should have gotten a plate of wing dings. Bunch of laugh marks like that. We was too fancy for him tonight. Up under there, the friend she was with, it was horrible. Now, they posted this on social media, added us and everything like that, and blasted it out.
This is a social media post.
Yeah, look, on social media, this is blasted out. It's not a text message.
This is one of your reviews.
No, right. This is on Facebook, social media blast out. Now she's giving this to the world to see.
Right.
Not just her. Some people have their different opinions of what you got to do. And that shit can hit you like a motherfucking dagger right in the center of your heart. If you allowed it to. You know that you ain't doing this and people ain't fucking with you for no reason. Somebody gonna have their reviews.
How did you handle it?
I didn't.
Why?
I let it roll back. Because what do I do right here? You still stayed. You still supported. You gave your personal opinion about how you felt. And I'm never going to be mad at you about that. I'm not for everybody. I never signed up to be 100%. And I never make no one love me.
You can't please everybody.
Right. So I don't even care about that. So what it hits me and it affects me because I'm thinking about the people who haven't never been here. And like, why would you want to be that type of person? If you ain't like something, you ain't like it, so be it. Like, you went to Wendy's, you went to PF Chang's, you went to anything else.
Do you allow people to give reviews on your restaurant?
Yes.
Okay.
Encouraging to. That's why I don't allow it to affect
what,
me, that's how I get better.
What if that same comment would have been in your reviews opposed to on social media?
But they are on my reviews if you look at my reviews.
But what I'm saying, but how do you handle the reviews?
I get better. I see what happened. So I'm going to look for the date, first of all. I know the schedule, who was there, and like that, and collectively.
Okay.
Now, after that, it's like, so what did they say was a problem? Okay, so let me see. Is this right? Is that right? That right? I'm looking for corrections.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking like, these motherfuckers just hating. Hey, look.
Because you got some people that's like that.
Look,
okay.
I got complaints where I go out with places like that. I can tell you right now, and I'm being serious. I don't go out much no more because I shop at the same places y'all go hang out at. I shop with the owners of these places, and I know they're buying. And that's why I don't go out. I will never blurt them out. I never say who's paying knockoff liquor, who's giving you goddamn swat and saying it's farm-raised catfish. I will never, ever blast these people out. Because that's not me. I don't have a hate in me. See, that's their thing. You got to find out a reason to hate them yourself. But I'm not going to blast no one out to try to take from them because of
But you're also talking
experience.
about a consumer opposed to a business owner. That's what consumers do.
But look, consumers supposed to do anything they feel like they have to do.
Right.
Let there be your dollar spent. I spend money out when I'm out too. And I'm a consumer at times as well. So I'm not always 24/7 owner unless it comes to this business of mine.
Right.
But when I'm out, I'll have a certain expectation. But if not, hey, fuck, I just probably not return, or I'll let you know how to adjust my shit if I didn't have it right way. But I am not the person to go out here and literally trash mouth you for everyone to come instead of talking to the establishment itself.
So here's the thing. Because I see what you're saying. I see what both of y'all saying.
I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, I know. You just ask a question. I see why you're passionate because it does bother you.
But it gets you on your shit though. But
saying,
I'm not hating the person like, fuck
but
them.
What I'm saying is you're super emotional about it because it does mean something to you.
It's my product.
Exactly.
It's my name.
Exactly.
But you just made it seem like it's not supposed to get to you, but it's gotten to you.
No. It gets to you to the point to make you work harder.
No.
It doesn't affect you like.
Listen to everything you're saying.
Fuck you.
But B,
it's not fuck
what
you.
you're saying.
You're just saying that they shouldn't have did what they did.
I said
they should have.
No. I said the consumer do what they want to do. They spend the money what they want to do. I said I am not the person to do that.
But that's what I'm saying.
You're not the consumer.
Everybody's not you.
But see, I am a consumer at times though.
But everybody's not
places.
you.
I'm not saying they're wrong. We were talking to the fact right here how D-Hawk said his comment really fucks with him and how it can affect you. Now, it's going to affect you. It's going to be effective, negative or positive to you. Now, if you want to dwell into like that and like boom, or you be like boom, okay, that wasn't right. Well, let me correct that shit for someone else. They said they had burnt rib tips. Well, shit, make sure my shit ain't burnt no more. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I mean, I hit him up. I asked my brother to do it. Like, hey, come out to rib cage. We got one on us.
But that's what you're saying is two different
thing.
things, though, B. You're saying two different things.
Negativity is not always a bad thing, man.
But you're saying two different things. I don't know if you realize that you're saying a lot, and you're saying two different things.
Tell me.
Which I agree with both of them.
We agree with both.
But you're contradicting yourself.
You're contradicting your own self.
Oh, how?
Because we initially started because you said that you should not pay attention to the negativity.
But it's not negative. If they saying something wrong about your product, or
so basically,
or
the negativity should be
right. If they say BHill, you're not
as
funny.
Positivity, what you're saying.
Right, it has to. You're in the business of this.
But what he was trying to say, is that their attention wasn't even on the purpose of his videos. They were just trying to find negative stuff to have an issue with, just to have a problem with him. Like, for example, he mentioned something about like somebody was like, "Hey man, you know the video cool, but the water level in the toilet wasn't high enough." He said something like that, or like, "Oh man, you need to cut your grass," or "Oh dude, you need to put some lotion on your elbows," sucker stuff like that. But you know, which is kind of different, which is a lot different from the content that he's actually releasing.
And like what Wayne was saying is just it doesn't really matter what the comment is. If someone's critiquing something you're passionate about, like your business, it does matter. And if you decide to be like, all right, I'm gonna let it tear me down, or I'm gonna let it, and I'm gonna internalize it as,
or if you're not gonna even, or if you're not gonna even,
either way,
deal with it at all,
you're gonna hear it. This whole website's dedicated to reviews and things like that.
Yeah.
Yelp, it can make or break you. It's taking the good with the bad, man. It is what it is. If you got a product for sale, you're at the mercy of the consumers, whether they like your shit, don't like it, want to promote it, or fucking degrade it. It is what it is, man.
People gonna be people,
buyers and sellers, man.
Why you gotta have that tough skin on it to keep on pushing forward, man?
All right, well, let's get to this
in
topic.
The world we live in, man. People ain't gonna like the JMatt show.
People ain't gonna like the Jordans you got on. They own the same pair.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's
Your
get to this
Jordans
topic
like
though,
this.
because we gonna get this in a timely fashion today.
Oh my God
damn it. So someone hit the group chat out the blue, and this was a group chat that I didn't. You know the hardest thing ever is to get out of a group chat, right?
Oh,
and
then
ringing,
it's like a surprise. The surprise is when you get a text message and you see you a part of a group chat. You don't even know who.
I feel like a group chat is the most disrespectful yet. It's just like so cruel to put somebody,
especially if you're speaking to one person directly.
Yeah,
it's like you're in a group chat talking to one person.
You can't be taking not even that. You just can't be taking liberties with putting me in groups. I didn't ask to be in a group. I don't like being associated with groups. But anyway, I got this text message of a group chat. Thank you. And it was 16 other people in this group chat. And this group chat was very interesting.
That should have killed your battery.
This was a message that had a title to it. And this title to this group chat was Sex and Marriage.
I like Sex and Candy better.
Sex and who?
What?
Candy. Sex and Candy.
But somebody done tied his braids too.
Yeah, man.
That's
what I'm thinking, man. That's what I'm thinking.
They get new hairdos and come start acting funny.
I ain't got no hairdo, first of all. I ain't gonna get my hair did.
You have to get that done.
But I ain't get it did.
Next he gonna be getting flued out somewhere.
Oh, ain't nothing getting blued out. I tell you that.
I said flued out. Ain't that what they say? He gonna be getting flued out.
They don't flew me out nowhere. All right, so the topic was sex and marriage, and he says, "Let me get it ready. Let me get it ready.
I gotta hear this
because it was a little bit of broken English, but I'm gonna put that
Fix it up, man.
to autocorrect. Autocorrect be making you look real crazy out here. So this comes from Uncle. I ain't gonna say it.
Okay.
One of the uncles in the family, and he says that it's either two things. It's one of two things you can elect to be in a marriage. You could either be a suffering man. Doesn't sound too
yeah, that don't sound pleasing at all.
At all. And or you could be a dead man, which is probably worse than suffering.
Those are the two options.
About even.
I don't know. Actually,
sounds about even.
Tell me there's a third option here.
Usually, when you suffering and being tortured, you prefer death. So,
there's a third option here.
No, this was a two.
So you dead or the Walking Dead?
I think we gonna. I think we gonna insert option 3 because
either suffering. Wait a minute. What was the topic though?
So you dead or you dead?
The topic was. Yeah, let's play a game real quick. You already guessed. BHill and the listeners out there. Let's play a game real quick. So the topic was sex and marriage. What do you, the listeners, and BHill think the definition of a suffering man is, and a definition of a dead man in context to sex and marriage. Oh, what a good game. I wish I didn't tell you. I wanted you to play too.
Hey, because I'm coming out the gate knowing what that's about.
I'm like, not to this thing.
Oh,
No,
shoot
I
off,
already
man.
know what that is.
But come
How
up
did
the
you
hill
know?
for me.
No.
Come up the hill.
First off, I want to hear what your guess is. You know what the context
If sex
is.
and marriage and
You can either
suffering
be
or dead
a
man.
suffering man or a dead man. What do you think the suffering man
then I'm gonna
is?
tell
The
him what I told you
suffering
earlier.
means that I'm assuming off the top of the head that you're with a woman, she's attractive, but y'all sex life is like terrible, or you don't have sex at all, or like, or the dead man in the sexual plot is like you fucking having sex with someone else. I'm thinking, y'all just here together, dead. I mean, like null and void. I don't really get it.
Hey man, so
Hey, he was
let
kinda
me
close with
let me
both
let me
of
let me
them,
let me tell you
man.
let me tell you what I told him when let me tell you what I told him when he brought this to my attention. I said, okay, so I'm assuming the suffering man is like, yes, you're not getting it like that.
Yeah.
So therefore, the dead man is the one that's going and stepping out, and you done came and got your head busted because you done got caught up. That's
Right.
how I got to define it.
It has to be somewhere in that realm.
I don't see it being nothing else other than that.
Right. It has to be something in there. Either I'm been stepped out, getting ready to step out, or I want to step out. I mean, I just want to step out so bad. Like,
Well, you only gonna be a dead man if you actually do it.
Right,
I
you
don't see
actually
you being
do
a
it.
dead man no other
Perfectly
way.
explained.
You
I
gonna
like
do
that.
it and get caught.
I
So
like
y'all ready
that.
for the answers?
Yeah.
Give it to me.
So the suffering man, he states, I can't read this verbatim because it won't make any sense. Paraphrasing, the suffering man is when you got to wait and plead and be patient, and when your wife is ready to give you some, she'll give you some.
That sounds so bad.
It sounds terrible. A
That-
dead man is when you go out and cheat and get caught, and finally she don't forgive you and the marriage is over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he says that if you love her,
You're gonna suffer.
you will elect to be a suffering man because she's worth the wait.
I would say to
the
this
the weight,
man,
the weight of what?
Really, nigga?
right? Oh God! Oh God! In him, you not talk to me like that again. I'm
Really,
supposed to sit
nigga?
here and do what? Get greasy palms all the time because I love her. If she loved me, she give me some fucking pussy. Oh
my
no!
God.
Well, I'm dead then.
But
Matter
I
of fact,
was mad that Wayne hit the nail on the head
He
out the
did.
gate
He
though.
did.
So please, man, can you elaborate?
Get the fuck out of here.
right.
Get the fuck out of here.
How did you know what
Let
it
me
was?
know.
Man,
Right off
listen.
the gate.
Come on, pussy, please.
Hell no. Hell no.
Because you love her, you better wait 2.5 weeks when she want to be sexy, and you already ready to come. You nutted 2 weeks ago.
Hold on.
You gonna come
This
quick and she
motherfucker
gonna
over
judge
here
you.
hit it on the head too. You are not gonna bring that negativity over here. Get the fuck out of here, man.
I rebuke you.
Called you a pussy
We are
kisser.
not
Come
about
on,
to play
man.
this game.
That's Pleasure P over there, man.
This what we doing? This what we doing? Ain't it Wednesday, goddammit? I love my wife.
While out Wednesday.
Hey, listen, you know what I do on the podcast? I love my wife.
Listen.
You won't do this to me.
Listen.
I don't even
I do
fuck with
everything
negative
with
people
my
like
wife.
that when it
Right,
comes
you
everything.
know, Wayne
I
got
love my
pocket porn
wife.
on dial-up, boy.
Oh, you know what though? Here's the thing. I'll say this. I'm brave.
You just been married long as fuck. It ain't brave. She just.
I
used
would
to
have
your
to
ignorant
say.
ass.
Wait a minute. Hold on, man. What is you doing?
Right, don't,
The fuck are you
Is he
doing
incriminating
here?
himself? Don't
So-
incriminate.
So look, man. I don't believe that either one of those are great options.
Either one.
I need a third option.
I insert third option.
Right. Fuck me all the time.
Third option,
Communicate.
I'll say it right here.
Time.
Polygamy.
Now you know, hey, don't get me started on this. Now this is one of my favorite subjects.
Oh,
now,
I said for favorite.
you know, I do feel as though, honestly, I'm not scared of nobody.
Man, I'm poly pro.
Monogamy, I don't believe is very natural.
It ain't for everybody. It ain't no animal kingdom. It's not really. It's to this European Christian stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it's very natural, and it's actually a very recent thing when it look at human history. You talk about the system of monogamy.
It's very selfish.
This is an old conversation. I ain't mad though.
Oh, it's a fucking ancient conversation and very relevant to this day.
It's very selfish.
You see a lot of people that would rather commit suicide than get a divorce. Damn.
Right.
Hello. Woo.
Right.
Woo.
Right.
Shit.
Hey, love is real.
Anytime you would prefer death over the legal
breakup,
ramifications
bro.
of your divorce in America, my man, I would have to say there's something wrong with this system.
I would like to say I want to fuck because we was fucking. Because she got that golden pouch.
Chill out. She got
a golden pouch, baby.
Now,
Chill
here's
out.
the thing.
You know.
As far as reality of this question goes, because there are only two options, I would want to be a dead man.
Right. Hey, listen. I'm not sure if I could.
I don't like
want it
suffering,
down.
man.
Right.
Suffering sounds like a
That's
terrible
cruel.
way to live.
That's
bro.
cruel. That's cruel intentions.
I gotta
to
be,
make someone suffer. That's a very cruel.
I gotta
thing
be
to
a
do.
divorced man.
That's an option 3.
That's the option 3 for
See,
me.
that's what I'm saying. No.
Option-
Actually, that's actually the dead man one. Remember, he
That's
said
part of the. But no.
you said the marriage is over.
No. Because here's the thing.
He
Here's
didn't say the marriage is over.
Here's the thing. Because it depends on how you are as that man. Like, because you could be that dead man that your marriage ended because you got caught, or you could be that person that say, "Hey, I'm gone because I don't want to have to be that person to be known as the cheater." And that, because here's the reality of it. Here's the reality.
Go
of it.
ahead, because I got a third option.
You can have all the
Another
issues that it is that you want to have in a marriage. You got let's say, hypothetically speaking, a man is going through it, or a woman, you going through it, and you got all of these things to say about your spouse. The moment that either one of y'all step outside of that marriage, every single thing that it is that occurred, legitimate or not, is not going to make no goddamn difference. It's going to be all about who it was that stepped out. It's going to be like, man, we got divorced. It'll be like, man, was she or he did this. Don't matter. You cheated. Don't matter. You cheated. So with that being said, like me personally, nah. If things get that bad, I'm not about to sit up there and fuck up my reputation or my image. I've done that before. I'm gone.
Okay.
That's me. That's my third option.
I got another option for a third option. You could just do like my wife suggested earlier today. Just TMI. I don't give a shit.
Your wife said this?
Yeah, she said you could just take it.
Could I call her down here?
Call her.
You said you could just what?
She said you could just take it.
Shirley! Oh, shit. I didn't know she was that close.
Because she at the top of the steps
God
listening.
damn.
She
Shirley,
listening already.
Can you come down here and join the show for a quick second, please?
I don't think she wants to, but.
I mean, I just need so wait,
Right.
with
I didn't call your wife to the show, but go ahead. We gonna get you on. We gonna get you next week.
I asked
Go
your
ahead.
wait, I asked your permission first.
Right. With
I
your
ain't giving you my permission.
He done went and got it and called her down.
So we need this. We need to know.
This is no longer a
We
safe
need to
place.
know if
Talk
this
about
is
haters.
valid.
It's no longer a safe
As far as
place.
this option. So one of the options is if the spouse is not giving it up, then the other spouse can just take it. Is that an option? And
That's enough for your question.
That's enough of your question.
Wait. And this is 100%. I understand y'all married, but this consensual. Right?
See, this is what I said.
You gotta
I
tell-
said
Because
there are
y'all can
laws
still
against
say
that.
no.
I said there are laws against that.
Yeah, like you take
And
it, but
here's-
then
Shirley ain't on the mic. You don't have to ask her no more
Listen,
questions. I
listen.
said there's a laws against this, and I said I'm not finna me too you. You got to me too me.
Listen to me.
me three. He said that to you.
Listen.
These are real conversations. This was a
Listen.
real text
Hey,
conversation
listen.
that we had earlier
Listen,
today.
I had to fact check your ass.
I don't be on the mic just bullshit.
I gotta get
This
a
is my
Carfax
life.
report.
Because your wife was present. I had to fact check your
This
shit.
is my life. I don't be bullshit, bro.
I hear you.
Listen.
But
I'm trying to tell you.
bring my wife up.
We're gonna bring her to the podcast
Imagine-
now.
okay, look.
Now you done crossed over the line, my
But
brother.
look, imagine this.
She's getting an invite on Instagram.
All right, imagine this. If you ask every person, or every male, that before they got married, would they still get married?
Why you introducing new questions and concepts?
I mean, that's a new option. How about option number one be that option? You want to be
know what?
this, you want to be without it, or do you want to live your life knowing that you may have pussy sometimes or not get it at all?
That's a real question.
You know what,
man.
man? Let me say this, man. I think that when it really comes down to it, it's about how you communicate with your spouse and be able to overcome the obstacle. Because based on, if you really think about,
That shouldn't be no damn obstacle.
wait a minute,
No,
I
I signed up for you for life.
It should
I
be.
should have this whenever.
But think about the reality. How often does that conversation come up in marriages? You ain't even got to be married. Relationships. Everybody goes through it because women go through things, and it just happens. So here's my thing: you could say you don't get married, but unless you decide that you gonna just go ahead and be like, "Hey, man, you know what? I'm gonna have a situation like he said, polygamy," or if you just gonna be like, "Man, fuck it, I'm pimping," or whatever the case.
I call it Mike Lowry.
In my personal opinion, I don't feel like there's no way around it except for being able to communicate with your spouse to be able to find a way to overcome that.
You make that
obstacle.
commitment to stay with each other for life. That's one sex all the time.
If you don't get
gotta
married, you
stay
can marry whoever
creative.
you want. You're
Right,
going
gotta
through that
stay
problem
creative.
at some point.
You got to get freaky. You got to do shit. Now, ain't no way in fuck if I married somebody and they in my bed for the whole month and I only had sex twice. That's bullshit. You don't talk about.
Have you been through it?
Yeah.
Yeah, my
You know
But
what I'm talking about?
but did you give up the woman due to it?
Oh no, see,
She gave him up.
right?
No,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
kidding,
But
I'm just
that's on God now. That's on God now. He tell you
My
no
bad.
lie.
I didn't mean to be
Oh,
accurate.
it's fine.
I'm
It's
sorry.
fine. I'm 5 years removed from that. You know, I dealt with my issues.
Wait a
with
minute.
that.
So she was giving it up twice a
He
month,
said,
and
I've had therapy.
and
No,
she
no,
got
no,
rid of your ass.
No. We used to have.
You done gave her the
We used to,
lazy doodle, huh?
We used to get busy. You know, what I'm talking about? And then it just
After
came
work
right,
noodle
right.
too.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Right, it was just like oodles and noodles.
You know he worked late. He
Ramen
get off
noodle.
at 3 a.m.
Right, but and that's before I got to the bar shit though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
wow.
I was divorcing. We was going through our shit as I started the bar up. So this is I was working at a third shift plant 3 days a
Oh,
week.
shit,
at the time.
you was at the gas station with them ginseng.
Right, but see, while she's at work, I'm over. It was kind of crazy. We went from having a lot to nothing overnight. I think it happened after the. Long story
See,
short.
but when they talk
it
about
happened.
marriage,
It
and remember
happened.
how they talk, you know how they talk about marriage and talk about things you got to work on.
Yeah.
You would never think that that's something that
Fucking
you got to work
right.
on.
Because you're not gonna give me no coochie coupons, baby.
I mean, but think about the leading cause for divorce.
Marriage and
Oh no,
I mean,
finances actually.
Finance.
Finances.
It's money.
It's money, and
Finance
then
fucking.
I think
Finance and fucking.
Yeah.
The double F, man, that fucks you over every time.
Yeah, either you not fucking me or you fucking somebody else.
Right.
Either
Or you
way,
ain't
it's
got
a
the
problem.
money, or he got the money, or she got the money, you ain't got the money. However, the fact is, what happened to me personally was a lack of attention and communication.
It's so many moving parts in a marriage. It's crazy.
It is, but you got to learn how to. Let's say marriage is a real big fucking deal. It's all about what you.
It's a
make
business
of it.
agreement.
You know what I'm saying? Right. It's more than that.
Which is why
It's more than that. Shit,
when you
it's a
asked
life
if I would do
commitment
it
to
again,
God.
I definitely would do. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
no,
get
it's a
married.
wrap
Say
for
that
the
again?
kid.
I wouldn't get married.
It's a
again.
wrap for me.
You wouldn't do it again?
I get married.
You
when
mean
I'm
like
50,
would I
60.
do it over? Like if I had to go back and do it again, would I do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, if
Yeah.
I, if you
if
meant, like
this-
if this
that-
ended,
yeah.
and
Oh,
what I,
yeah, no,
yeah,
I feel
no.
you. Hey, shit.
Yeah, not with nobody else. I'm not getting married to
This is
nobody
my
else.
second marriage, and luckily
We not
I
gonna
love
do
this
that
woman.
anymore.
Like, luckily I love this woman.
Look
No,
at this.
fuck
Every
you.
week.
Here's
Every
my
week you
goddamn-
gotta do a wife
Women
moment,
Crush
a wife
Wednesday
shout out.
plug. I fucking love that
But
woman.
that's new
so-
marriage
so
shit
she
right here.
was-
That's new marriage shit.
Hey,
This time next
motherfucker,
year,
motherfucker,
he
I'm
won't
40.
mention Rach in the goddamn speech.
You
in
know
his
what,
goddamn
Wait a minute,
shit.
did you just say my wife's name on the air?
No,
He did.
I said Rach.
But your wife is not anonymous though, right?
No, my wife's
She's selling houses in these streets.
Right.
I can say my wife's
She out
name.
here
Can't nobody
selling.
else say her
She out here
name.
selling product in these streets. You got her changing
we
lives.
need the goddamn money.
And tell her, actually, you can put my shit up at the end of the summer.
man.
She can put my shit on the fucking market for me.
Hey,
on everything.
shit.
I want to get the fuck out of my house.
All right,
I'm gonna
man.
have that
So
shit.
I guess before we end the pod, did you find the excerpt that we're gonna end with?
Yeah.
So before we end the pod, I guess on this topic of conversation, which is sex and marriage, what would you prefer to be, a suffering man or a dead man? Most of us up here have chosen to be
None of the above.
deceased.
No.
Option C. None of the above.
Yeah, we've inserted a few other options that we would
Right.
prefer over the two.
If those were my only two choices or whatever, man, right now
I'll take suffering.
I'm gonna take
Yeah,
suffering.
I mean, honestly,
we would all at the end of the day, some pussy's better
We're
than
joking.
None. You know what I'm talking
Of
about?
course.
We gotta reel this in. We gotta reel this in and be
Like,
real.
let's bring
We
this
all
back
gonna
to
be
reality.
suffering.
Yeah, ha, hardy,
Yeah,
har,
right,
har.
hardy, har, har,
We
har.
all want to suffer. That's
Right,
what life
before
is
we have
about,
nothing.
suffering. Jesus suffered.
Man,
You know?
and
Shit.
just looking and reading this, man, really just.
All right,
like-
so what are you about to read?
All right, so this is a statement just released this was breaking news during the show from Vanessa Bryant, and that's Kobe Bryant's wife, as you all know. It says, my girls and I want to thank the millions of people who've shown support and love during this horrific time. Thank you for all the prayers. We definitely need them. We are completely devastated by the sudden loss of our adoring husband, Kobe, the amazing father of our children, and my beautiful, sweet Gianna, a loving, thoughtful, and wonderful daughter and amazing sister to Natalia, Bianca, and Capri.
Oh, he went to college.
We are also devastated by the... excuse me?
You speaking all
How
fluent
you gonna-
and reading
how
this.
you
I'm
gonna
so sorry.
interrupt the-
I'm just noticing the man got a real fluent
on,
read
man.
pattern.
How you gonna
know what I'm
interrupt
saying? I done paused twice from breathing. Go ahead.
We are also devastated for the families who lost their loved ones on Sunday, and we sharing their grief intimately. There aren't enough words to describe our pain right now. I take comfort in knowing that Kobe and Gigi both knew that they were so deeply loved. We were so incredibly blessed to have them in our lives. I wish that they were here with us forever. They were our beautiful blessings taken from us too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, I lost it.
Is it more?
Yeah.
A lot more.
No, I'm halfway through. I'm not sure what our lives hold beyond today, and it's impossible to imagine life without them. But we wake up each day trying to keep pushing because Kobe and our baby girl Gigi are shining on us to light the way. Okay, our love for them is endless, and that's to say immeasurable. I just wish I could hug them, kiss them, and bless them, have them here forever with us. Thank you for sharing your joy, your grief, and your support with us. We ask that you grant us the respect and privacy we need to navigate this new reality. That kind of goes back to what we was talking about earlier. To honor our Team Mamba family, the Mamba Sports Foundation has set up the Mamba On 3 Fund to help support the other families affected by this tragedy. To donate, please go to, to further Kobe and Gianna's legacy in youth sports, please visit. Okay, so that's more of a plug right there. But thank you so much for lifting us up in your prayers and for loving Kobe, Gigi, Natalia, Bianca, Capri, and me.
Wow.
Man, that definitely puts a lot in perspective,
that's
especially with
said.
at the end of the day, we talked about
It's real strong. It's real
dead
strong.
man or suffering man. Man, when I look at something like that, man, I'd totally be a suffering man for my family, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Kobe was definitely living a selfless life. So we're going to end on that note. God bless all the families out there. Anybody dealing with tragedies.
Absolutely.
These specific loved ones.
Hug and
lost.
kiss on your loved ones, man.
Yeah, man. Do what you got to do.
Do it while they here.
Live life to the fullest, man, with that Mamba mentality, man. We out of here. See y'all next week.
Peace.